Hello, everyone. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Matt Nichols. I am the undergraduate assistant for the Conferences and Continuing Education Department within the National Resource Center. Today, I'm going to give you guys a training on how to run a session in our virtual Students in Transitions conference. So, just a quick background on the Students in Transitions conference. This conference is an annual conference that is centered around students in transition. People from all across the world, but mainly the United States, come and present or attend this conference. We typically get between 300 and 400 people at this conference, and it's usually held somewhere in the United States. This year, it was supposed to be held in Atlanta, Georgia. However, due to the coronavirus, we had to transition and move this conference to a virtual format. So throughout this conference, we'll be using Zoom, more specifically the Zoom webinar feature, which looks a little bit different than your typical Zoom meetings. So today we're going to go through a walkthrough and kind of show you how all that works. But just quickly to give you a little overview, what is expected of you guys, you will be room hosts during this conference. So what that means is you will be in charge of a room during a session. The sessions are an hour long. And essentially, what you will have to do is you will start the room. The presenters will join the room. You'll make sure everything's ready to go for them. They'll do their session, and then you'll be in charge to make sure everything's working. And then ending the session and then getting the uploaded video of the session back to us. So that's just a quick overview. We're going to go in more depth and give you a walkthrough. But really quickly, also, the goals of this training are just to make sure that you guys know what's expected of you during the conference. Also, just so you have a basic understanding of the Zoom webinar, it is a little bit different than the regular meeting, so we just want to make sure you understand how to operate it. And then also that you're prepared to handle any situation that might arise during the conference when it's game time. So with that, we are going to start, and I'm going to do a walkthrough of what exactly is expected of y'all. So there's three ways you can get into the Zoom webinar. So one of those ways is going to be through your Zoom account. I will go in really quick separately just to show. So I go to zoom.com and you're going to click there. And then if you're not already logged in, I'm already logged in. You'll log in here. Let me make this bigger. And you're going to go to my account. And then over here, you will have meetings and webinars. So the meetings is going to be for facilitated dialogues. I think only a couple of you are hosting those. Most of you will be hosting regular sessions, and those are going to be the webinars. So if you look there, you'll see these are my facilitated dialogues, and then over here is the list. So I have set up a hosting a webinar walkthrough at 10 a.m. I'm a little late. You guys will be starting the webinar 10 minutes before. So right now it says 9:57. I should have done this 7 minutes ago, but we're going to go with it. So here is the hosting a webinar walkthrough. This is one way you can start it. Another way you can start it, I'm going to exit out of this really quick, is to go to the Zoom application. You just click here, and then it should show up in your calendar. Like Lauren said the other day in the meeting, sometimes they don't always start or show up in her calendar. So I would definitely recommend going in through Safari or Chrome or through the internet. And then the final way you can do it is through your email. So if you click on that link that Lauren sent you, it will give you a link that says join the session, or hopefully it says start the session. If it says join the session, I would just then recommend starting it either through the internet or through the Zoom application. So we're going to start this. And so this is hosting webinar walkthrough. Gonna hit start. Mine has a pop-up. I'll exit out of this. And here we go. So now I am in my Zoom webinar, ready to go. It hypothetically is 10 minutes before the session, and join the computer audio. So this is what the practice session looks like. Sometimes it shows up orange, sometimes it shows up like this, but it will give you a prompt that says you are in a practice session. Attendees cannot join until you start the webinar. So the only people allowed to join at this point will be the panelists, aka the presenters, and when they join the webinar, they'll be able to practice, kind of go over what they're going to talk about. They can even practice screen sharing, things like that, make sure they have everything ready. And another thing you want to do when you start is make sure that it is recording. So up here, you can see that it says recording. Just make sure that all the sessions are being recorded. And finally, when it gets to 10 o'clock, which right now it's 10 o'clock, the presenters tell you that they are ready to go. You are going to hit, record without audio, you are going to hit the start webinar. So we hit start webinar, and then it'll say the webinar is now live. The system will automatically let everybody that was waiting and ready to go to this presentation into the session, and the presenters will present for like an hour. One way that you can communicate with the panelists or the presenters is through the chat. You have the option to just talk to the panelists, so this will only go to the people that are panelists. And I would just be careful about this because some presenters may give their participants the chance to be a panelist just so they can speak in the webinar feature and then demote them right afterwards. But if you do, I believe you can see this chat, so I just wouldn't say anything that you wouldn't want other people to see. But this is a really good chat for the end of the presentation to make sure that they're ending on time. So I guess 5 minutes before the session is about to end, I would go in here and just remind them, hey, we have 5 minutes left, we need to end on time, because some of us have another session to get to right after this, and we have to start that one 10 minutes before as well. So this is just a really good tool for that. Once the session is over, you're going to go down here to the end button and hit end, and then you're going to end the meeting for all. So make sure that the presenters have wrapped up, everybody's leaving, and that is when you can end it for all. You'll end the session, and let me exit out of these, and it will say the recorded file is being converted. It'll convert it, and then here is my video. Like Lauren said, you can hold on to these videos and upload them all at the end of the day. That's helpful if you are hosting a session right after this, or you can wait until, or you could do it right after if you don't have another session or you have time. Just make sure that you upload into the Drive or Dropbox that we send you. So now we're going to take a dive into how to upload your files from your session. So again, you should have a file that downloads and looks like this at the end. It may take a while depending on how big the files are to download. So you may have to start your session again and just keep this off to the side and then upload them all at once. But it should look something like this. So the first thing that you're going to want to do is you are going to want to rename the video and the chat. So right here you have the Zoom underscore, and then there should be a number there. Mine's a 0, and then it's .mp4. So the .mp4 is going to be your video. You're going to click on it. You're going to hit rename, and then you're going to rename it the title of your session. So you can find this, it should be on your session, in your emails, on your Zoom, or even the conference program. So let's say my session was CI for enhancing the first year experience. So I've already got that typed in here, but you're going to type it in. I'm going to put that there, and then you're going to add video at the end for this one, just so we know that's the video. And then you're going to do the same thing with your chat. So you're going to go up here, you're going to hit rename, again, put it in, and then I'm going to put chat at the end of this one. So now that you've changed these, you know which session it is. You can also change the name of this folder. I know it's usually the date followed by different numbers. So it might be easier to change the name of the folder in general to the session type, but you will then have it named in case you need to come back for later. So once you're ready to upload, you're going to check your email, and you should have received an email from Lauren. There should have been 2 emails actually, one of them for Dropbox and one of them for OneDrive. We prefer you use the OneDrive just because it's easier for us, but if you need to use the Dropbox, it's completely fine. I'm going to walk through the OneDrive right now. So again, it looks like this. Lauren Ryder shared the folder, SIT session file upload with you. And then you're going to come down here and you're going to click on open. So once you click this link, I'm already logged in, but it might ask you to verify your email just so that we make sure that only the people we want to are accessing it. And you'll see all of these files afterwards. So it goes from closing session, concurrent sessions, all the way down to vendor sessions. So you should know what your session type is. If not, you can look in the program and it breaks down the little variables in front, like CI. So the concurrent sessions will be CI, CRs, and CPs. And then vendor sessions obviously are going to be V, and then facilitated dialogues can be FD. So you'll see those right over here. So I have a CI, which is concurrent. So I'm going to click on concurrent sessions, and some people have already uploaded files. So now I'm going to go over here and I'm going to hit new. So when I hit new, I'm going to click on this folder and I'm going to again title it the name of my session, and I'm going to hit create. So right then and there, it creates the folder. I'm going to come down here and try to find the CI for it. Yep, there it is. So I'm going to click on this folder and open it now. There's no files in here now. So one way you can do it, which is really easy, is you're just going to take the file and you're going to drag it in. Try that one more time. There you go. And then just drop it, and then it's uploading. And then I'm going to do the same thing with the chat. I'm going to grab it, take it over here, and drop it, and then it's downloaded. So see, now they're in this folder, and we have access to both of these in order to give to our participants and also to the presenters themselves. It may take a couple more minutes. My video and chat were very small, just because I did a test drive, but your files might be a lot larger, so it might take a lot longer to download. You'll be able to look over here. There will be something that says like current downloads, and you click on it and it'll show you the progress on them. Just make sure that it is completely downloaded and in the folder before you're done. It does have a tendency to not react to the first file occasionally, so you just want to make sure that both your files are in there. So once you do that, you'll just go back to the session file upload, and then you'll have your next file. Say it's another concurrent sessions, you go back in here, make a new one, and the process goes on. I hope this walkthrough really helped everybody kind of figure out exactly what is expected of them and what they should be doing during the conference. Just in summary, kind of starting that conference 10 minutes before, interacting, making sure that you're recording, the panelists can access everything that they need to access, and then at the end, making sure that they're done talking, ending the session, and then getting those videos for us so we can distribute later. You should have received an email already that has the contact information of everybody on the conferences and continuing education department. So this contact information is for you. If you run into any issues during the conference, please call us immediately. We can definitely help problem solve. Also in this email, there should be 2 links that can kind of help further your education. One of them is an hour-long webinar kind of experience that Zoom put together that shows exactly how to use every little feature of the Zoom webinar application. So this is really helpful if you want more on how to operate the Zoom and make sure that you understand tech-wise what's going on. There also is a link to their FAQ page, and that is really where you kind of go for problem solving. So if something does go awry, again, you have that 10-minute buffer period. They can't share their screen, go over to the FAQ, type in screen sharing. If it can't solve what you're doing, then you pick up the phone and call one of the people on the continuing conferences and continuing education staff, and we can try and help you out with that too. At least one of us should be not running a session and can hop in on your session and see if we can fix it. And then also what we're going to be doing, just to make sure that everybody kind of knows exactly what to do, and that there isn't anything that like doesn't click from a watching this video to actually doing standpoint, we are going to set up an evaluation for you, or kind of like a test run. So in this email, there also should have been a link to a doodle poll. There are times within the next 2 weeks where you can sign up and meet with one of the conferences and continuing education staff members and pretty much do exactly what I just did, run through the process, make sure that you understand and you can do it yourself. So if you could please go there and sign up to do that, that would really help us make sure that everything runs smoothly throughout this conference and that it goes off without a hitch. So just in conclusion, for everybody, we really want to make sure this training, you should know exactly what's expected of you during the conference. We kind of walked through everything. If you need to watch this video again, it will be posted, so you will have all access to this. Also, just a basic understanding of the Zoom features. We went over that in the walkthrough portion. Again, you can go and look at Zoom's video they put together. It's a lot more intense. I think it's about an hour long. It's very specific. And then you can also you should be prepared to handle any situation that might arise during the conference. You have our contact information, also the help of the Zoom FAQs. So if you guys have any other questions, please feel free to reach out to anybody on the conferences and continuing education staff. You have our contact information. You can email me, text me, call me. Lauren is also available, and all the other members of our team. Thank you all again for watching this training session, and have a great rest of your day.